funnier show on television than Modern Family, which returns for a 7th season next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Love following this man on Twitter, at Eric Stonestreet, also on Instagram, the same, the pride of Kansas City. Eric Stonestreet, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Rich.
Okay, sir, let's unpack it.
I wore my Johnny Cash black because I'm in mourning.
Where'd you watch it? Your house?
Yeah, I watched it at my house with a diehard Chiefs fan,
So
my friend
company?
Paul.
You had
Yeah,
company?
a couple people over. Made some sandwiches, you know,
Yeah.
ready to watch the Chiefs dominate the Broncos.
And it looked so good, 14-0, right?
Well, and our defense. I mean, we really, and this is embarrassing for me to say this now out loud,
Yeah.
and with all due respect and apologies to Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
I said, my God, like, if we really go after him tonight, he could, like, we could, you know, it was the same thing with Tom Brady last year when we made a coach evaluate, like, how much fuel is left in the tank of a great quarterback. And the minute I had that conversation, Peyton Manning was like, what, Hollywood, coming in? Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Zing, 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 right down the field.
Well, it was 14-0, and it looked so good because a pick six made it 14-0.
How great does Peters look, by the way?
He could be defensive rookie of the year.
He's
obviously.
solid.
That's not a very long limb I just went on by saying that right now, just 2 games in, with a pick in each one of the games and a pick six of Peyton Manning. But when it was 14-0, and the pick six made it 14-0, and then Peyton comes out again, Arrowhead's going crazy. His first pass could have been intercepted.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those moments I'm looking back at last night thinking, had that been picked off, could have been 17-0. Who knows? You could have run one in, thrown one in, made it 21-0. But Peyton started moving it down the field. And
he's tough, man. I mean, I've never gotten the pleasure to meet Peyton Manning. I want to meet Peyton Manning. I love when all the players on all the NFL films you see coming up and just basically bowing down to Peyton Manning, just so excited to play him. And that's kind of how I feel. I mean, he's owned us as a Colt and as a Bronco. And I thought last night was going to be sort of the tide turning. At the end of the day, I am a fan, and I love my Kansas City Chiefs. And I can't feel as horrible as they all feel, but it still stings.
What do you think of the Andy Reid play calling? That's one of the things we're talking about. You have something? You need a lozenge, Eric?
Listen, I'm not a professional football coach.
Right. But you play a coach on
one
TV. And you played Andy Reid in our pregame last night briefly.
Yes, I did. Look, lots of things go into decisions that are made on the field. I mean, when at the end of the half when we didn't run the ball twice and gave the ball back to them, I would assume that is from a coach saying, well, what they expect is us to run the ball, so let's throw the ball. I mean, there's strategy involved, and they know their play and they know their playbook better than I do. So as much as I want to second-guess Coach Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs, I will not, because I have to yield to the fact that they are smarter than I am when it comes to those decisions.
Right. And defensively, though, you can't be anything but
how great is our defensive line and our linebackers? I mean, Derek Johnson, having him back is incredible. Tamba and Justin on the outside with I hope D Ford really starts to kick it in.
I was watching the game with Marshall Faulk last night. I'll say it, what he was saying. I don't know if he wanted it to be said publicly, but he looked at Derek Johnson. He said he may be the greatest player to ever come out of Texas to play in the National Football League. Wow. And I know, but you talk. I'm like, well, there's a running back over there too.
There's a Jamal Charles right
I
over
said
there.
that.
There's a Free Stones.
And he goes, well, Jamal's done it just for a few years. Derek has been doing it for longer than Jamal Charles.
Well, it happened twice on your broadcast last night where the NFL greats said Derek Johnson, the best linebacker nobody's talking about in the NFL. And then they talked about it with Jamal Charles in the game as well on the broadcast, saying that he's an elite running back that doesn't get, other than his fantasy numbers, gets the talk that some of the other running backs get. But I think that's just the Chiefs' way. They're just a small market team, working class team. And, look, the Chiefs do to me what the Kansas State Wildcats have done to me in the past, which is they get the national media's attention, and they're like, this team is something special. Tonight's the night. They get everybody's attention enough just to disappoint me, and so that the media pundits, can all be like, that's the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the Kansas State Wildcats. They are who we thought they were.
Well, I don't say that.
I know. I mean, you're fair.
You can do, the paparazzi, the broad brush. Hopefully, I'm not painted with that whole thing. But in terms of Kansas State, I'm here with Eric Stonestreet of Modern Family here on the Rich Eisen Show. And you and I have texted back and forth about this. Tyler Lockett, what he is doing for the Seattle Seahawks He has been spectacular. And you were telling me going in the draft, look where this kid goes. And when he went to Seattle, I thought, now, if he can do what we expect him to do, that could be a difference maker for Seattle to add those touchdowns to that defense. And he did it in St. Louis in week number 1.
Now with Jimmy, the addition of Jimmy Graham and Tyler Lockett. Look, I wanted the Chiefs to go after because I thought that the Anthony Thomas, Tyler Lockett duo on our team would be an incredible threat, speed threat on the outside in certain packages, and also in an old school, like, 2 guys back kickoff return. It's like, who's it going to? Bring it on with both those guys. So obviously, Marcus Peters was a great draft choice, but I really wanted us to try to get Tyler Lockett because of just the Kansas City connection. But Tyler, I've texted with Tyler in Seattle. He's so happy there. He's such a great kid, and I'll tell you, the Seattle Seahawks fans are going to just fall in love with him, just like the Kansas State fans.
They already have. The 12s love him. Kansas State 2-0. Next game against Louisiana Tech. What do you think about your Wildcats, sir? I
think our Wildcats defense is tough. We had a really sad thing happen with our starting quarterback. First play of the game, first play of really his career. He comes out and hurts himself. I don't know the extent of his injury, but Coach Snyder has said he's going to be out for a substantial amount of time. Coach Snyder doesn't talk about injuries, either does Eric Stonestreet.
Nice. I like it.
Although I tweaked my ankle at Disneyland.
Yeah, I did see you limp into the show studio.
But I think we got a tough test. The Big 12 is tough. Texas is in a little turmoil, but I'll tell you, man, TCU and Baylor are powerhouses in Oklahoma and Oklahoma. I mean, it's a tough conference, regardless of what SEC people think.
You know whose game is sharp there in Manhattan, Kansas, is the marching band.
That's right.
You knew how to bring up this sort of Star Trek, not safe for work, marching band.
Go on.
How do I describe it? The Starship Enterprise being put in impulse power, if you will, into what looked like a Kansas Jayhawk on the field.
Yes.
That's the most safe for work way I can describe what happened.
Let me just say for a second that I love the Kansas State marching band.
I know that.
I've been very supportive of them. They've been very supportive of me. They performed for my parents as a surprise on their 50th wedding anniversary. I know Dr. Trace, the director. I used to wait on him when I was in college at Applebee's, he and his children. So I've known him for years. Yes. Did you not know I was an Apple Buddy?
No,
Did you not know I was an Apple Buddy?
You're breaking news to me right now.
I would do magic tricks and do balloon animals for my tables. Yeah, I was a great waiter. So anyway, I've known the man for years.
Yes.
What was intended to happen was a good old-fashioned rivalry, figure on the... What else are we going to form on the field other than a Jayhawk,
Sure.
And they did a space thing, and it was just an unfortunate accident. It should have been a funny mistake that not very many people really even knew about, except it got tweeted online.
Yeah.
And, it's unfortunate because those kids, I guarantee you, worked really freaking hard to do that. And it's a reflection. Can I say this?
Sure.
Of our pussified society, that we form a Jayhawk on the field, and somehow that is unsportsmanlike. It's like, what else are they going to form? It's red meat. The fans want some red meat out there.
Yeah. It's what marching bands normally do.
It's what they do. Yeah. So now, the Big 12, we had to sanction ourselves, and our university and our president and our athletic director got ahead of it, which I understand. They paid the $5,000 fine, and now they have to. But the thing is for the kids, because you see that little girl out there with the trombone, and she's just marching, and then they come off, and she's like, somebody's like, you were a part of a testicle, you know that, right? And she's like, what? I was what? What do you mean? I was one of the left engines. What do you mean? It's like it's honestly a Modern Family plot. Like Cam Tucker would accidentally have done that, and that's all it ever should have been. Except we made it. There was some PR gaffes, in my opinion. You don't apologize for a mistake. It was just an honest mistake.
Eric Stonestreet here in studio. Let's take a break. We're back with more with Eric Stonestreet. We'll talk about your Royals and your Dodgers, who may actually face each other in the World Series potentially.
Please.
At Eric Stonestreet on Twitter. We'll also talk some Modern Family, and we'll also a couple people that's in our CelebrityDraftOps.com Pick 3 League have chimed in on their picks this week. I'd love for you to break it down with your football acumen. That's next here on The Rich Eisen Show. Welcome back to The Rich Eisen Show. The Emmy Award-winning actor from Modern Family, Eric Stonestreet, joining me here for a second segment here on The Rich Eisen Show. We've got this Celebrity Fan League.
Wasn't asked to be a part of it.
Well, you
wasn't asked.
Would you have done it?
No.
Nice.
Too busy.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. But at any rate, we've had people who you do know who are part of this league. The Friends of Rich, DraftOps.com, Celebrity Pick 3 League, where you pick a quarterback, running back / wide receiver, tight end each week. And Jake Tapper, who you know from
Love Jake.
from Big Slick.
Big Slick.
Your superb charity in Kansas City. God bless him. He did the GOP debate for CNN. Had enough time to put in his pick 3 lineup of the week. He goes Luck, Lynch, Brown.
Okay,
What do you
love
think?
Marshawn Lynch so much. Just that picture is incredible. But
Yeah.
that's solid.
I know. I mean, Lynch against Green Bay. We'll see what happens in that one. That's Jake Tapper.
I love Andrew Luck.
Joe Manganiello, your buddy.
I know Joe.
Yep.
Ugly.
He he went full Steelers, basically.
Yeah.
Big Ben and Brown and Marshawn.
So wait, you can pick anyone. You don't draft them at the beginning.
Correct.
You just pick each week. You just throw somebody in.
Right, and there's no cost to him, anything like that.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds like I really would have enjoyed this.
Oh my gosh.
You can still get in. It's
You can
not
still
too.
get in.
It's
I'm
not
busy.
too
I'm
late.
busy.
You can come. You want to do it?
Sure.
25,000
Fantastic.
for charity throughout the season.
How much do I have to pay?
Zero.
Zero.
No, you can win money for charity.
Oh yeah, I'll win money for
You want
charity.
to do that?
Yeah, sure.
You're in now.
I'm in.
Give us a team off your head.
Do you want to do one?
A team
This week.
Yeah, like this week, a
just three
quarterback,
guys.
a running back,
yeah.
a wide receiver.
I would take what's his name up in Green Bay, the guy that
Aaron
up stuff.
Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, yeah.
I would take
Any running back. Choose one. I know. This is a rough one.
boy. I would have taken Priest Holmes this week.
Nice.
Or I mean not Priest Holmes.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
You're living in the past, man.
I am living in the past. I'll get you my team after.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
I know.
He's
Doing
in.
it on. Trust me. At 4:30 in the morning, I woke up and I'm like, oh, darn it! Which wide receiver am I choose in my DraftOps.com league today? And then I wound up taking Steve Smith Sr. because you got to take somebody you think somebody else might not take to try and
I see.
beat them.
Because you
There's
want
a little bit of strategy.
You would tie if you.
Right. Like right now, Manganiello and Jake are going to get the same running back points
Right,
because
so
they have
they're
the
relying
same
on their
guy.
quarterback. I
You got to
gotcha.
sort of switch
And
it
don't
around.
worry about being in last or anything. Rich is so far back, you'll pass him after.
sorry.
I think I'll take the Bills quarterback actually.
Yeah, take
Tyrod
Tyrod
Taylor.
Taylor.
That's not bad.
You
Taylor,
like him against?
stud.
You like him against the Patriots?
I
this
do
week?
like him against the Patriots. I like the Bills this
Write it
season.
down.
You do.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on that one, Stonestreet. I'm
Yep.
winning.
I think he's a stud. 6'1", 205.
Yeah, he is. I mean, this would be a big,
Sounds like
big,
Brockman.
big win for him too. I like that.
I'm rooting against the. I never root against
5'11".
anyone ever.
Right.
I think it's a
5'10".
BS move.
Right.
This year I'm rooting against the Patriots. I just got to tell you.
So you.
rooting against them.
Why is that?
I'm not rooting for the team that they're playing. I'm just rooting against them.
Okay, very good.
I don't think I need to tell you why.
If you listen to the show, you know it by now. DraftOps is the new daily fantasy site that's simple to play and even easier to win. Tired of playing against sharks on other sites? Go to DraftOps.com and get ready to gorge yourself on cash and prizes. Visit DraftOps.com today and get ready to win. That's DraftOps.com, where your opponents are human and the winning is easy. Your Royals, sir, they are running away with the American League Central right now.
Yep.
What do you think about their chances to go deep into the postseason in Major League Baseball?
You know me and my Kansas City teams.
Yes, I do.
That they get the attention of the national media and then really disappoint me. But the Royals team is solid. They're deep, and you know with the additions of Cueto, even though he's not pitching quite as well as he was with the Reds right
Yes.
now, he's a stud, and I think he'll turn it on in the postseason. And Zobrist is
That was a nice pickup.
great pickup. And then with Johnny Gomes, just another good bat in the order. I'm proud of the Royals organization for saying, you know what, this is our time. We're going to go after a championship.
Yes.
The unfortunate thing now with Kansas City fans and our quick expectations, which we have because we've kind of been denied some successes along the way, is now if we don't get to the World Series, people are going to be like mad and upset because
Yeah.
our roster is good. But you know what? I think they're going to do it. And my dream, obviously, is a Royals-Dodgers World Series.
You're a
'cause I
season
would-
ticket holder of the Los Angeles Dodgers here.
I actually have season tickets at the Royals, too, that my mom and sister go to the games there.
Fantastic.
So I would get to see some games, depending on how our hiatus works
Yeah, I was about
out.
to say, have you
Well,
figured
last
that
year
out
I got
right now?
5 games in because of our hiatus, and I think it's
Right.
the same this year. So I would get to see some games. I think I might be able to see most of them.
Right, and let's just say for everybody out there on Twitter who was bashing you last year for this, that you're a fan of both teams.
I'm
and
a
it's
fan of
fine.
both teams.
It's fine. It is fine.
I have said from the very beginning that if the Royals and Dodgers, I only have to worry about it if they play in the World Series.
Right.
It's the only time it ever comes up because it's an American League. What camera? It's American League
That's it.
and National League.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So 2 different organizations, 2 different leagues, and I'll root for the Royals in the World Series. Absolutely. I've already told all my Dodger friends that. It's
Now
like,
and it's out there now on the Rich Eisen
there you
Show
go.
family.
Let's
of,
get that
of
to go.
networks.
If you could choose one, a Royals World Series or a Chiefs Super Bowl
oh, God.
this
How
year.
dare you, sir?
Nice. Good one.
How dare you?
What are you doing, Stonestreet?
Oh, my God. Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I hear you.
Chiefs Super Bowl.
There you go. That says it all.
I love only because football's my #1 sport and always has been. I love baseball, but I love the pageantry and the atmosphere of going to a baseball, field. With football, it's in my blood. Football's in my
Eric
blood.
Stonestreet of Modern Family here on the Rich Eisen Show. Season 7 debuts next Wednesday, 9 Eastern on ABC. For the radio audience, we're putting up a photograph of you and Jesse Tyler Ferguson dressed up like Breaking Bad. This is a photograph from season 7 of the program where you are Heisenberg and Jesse is Jesse. You know?
That was for the Hollywood Reporter. They did a photo
fantastic.
shoot of the top 100 shows, and they had our cast bring to life our versions of some of the characters. So Jesse and I did that, and then I also did Frasier.
You did Frasier Crane?
Yeah, look at my hair. Do they have a picture of me as Frasier?
Yeah, I mean, now did you text? I don't believe we have that photograph.
Okay.
Do you text Bryan Cranston this
I
photograph?
texted him the day we were shooting it, and
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to be sending you a picture that I think might tickle you. And he wrote back, I love tickles. He's a great guy.
He is.
But
He
what
is.
a cool outfit to put on. I mean,
Yeah.
just driving from my trailer to the stage where we were shooting, people are just like, wait, they immediately recognize that character.
Which of your co-stars cracks you up the most? Where you're shooting, and you know the line's coming,
Yeah.
and it still gets you.
Well,
Is there one in particular?
Sophia, but not for what you just said, because English literally really is her second language.
It's truly.
Maybe like her 4th or 5th language sometimes. You never know what's coming out of her mouth. Just the other day, she said we were supposed to, I forget what it was, but just the word chicken came out of her mouth, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so she makes me laugh the most. And what's great about Sophia is the moment we all start laughing, she has great sense of humor about herself.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately just starts tearing up. So then makeup has to come in and blot her makeup because she's laughing so hard. But Sophia, we all laugh with and at Sophia the most, probably.
Well, because we've talked about it on the air on this show, that there was a live reading of Major League that you took part in, and
Yep.
Joe Manganiello, her intended, was in charge of, and he casted Sophia as Pedro Serrano, which brought the house down
She
every
brought the
time
house
she
down.
opened her mouth up.
That was great.
Serrano.
Rich was awesome in that. That was like surreal because you were playing the part of Bob Uecker, right?
Well, no, I
you
was
were doing
reading
the stage direction.
stage
But then
directions.
at some point, because your voice is so recognizable, it was like you became a part of the movie. That was fun. And how great was Brian Wilson as the Wild Thing?
As the Wild Thing was great, and Billy Gardell as the
I
manager.
feel bad, like we're talking about something that nobody else here was
No,
at.
you know what, though? It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It was great.
I just want to make you, as you leave our show here.
I don't want to leave. I like it here.
Well, stay here.
I
We'll
love
stay
the
here.
studio, man. Like, just to be able to come and hang out here.
Well, actually, stay. If you want to stay for the final segment, you're
I'll
more than
stay.
welcome to do that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to twist your
I
arm.
like talking sports.
Okay, good. Eric Stonestreet is here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the best of the week, we'll wrap up this show and get you set for the weekend. Back with more with Eric Stonestreet here on the program. Again, Modern Family season number 7 debuting next Wednesday. You, sir, were the first fan that the NFL Network reached out to, celebrity fans. To say
I appreciate
why
that, by
I
the
am a
way.
fan. They reached out to you. You know, we have our choices of.
Reach out to anybody. You're the NFL.
Well, the Kansas City fan base is deep.
Yes, it
there's
is.
a deep roster. You all run the big slick together.
Yes, we do.
You know, Rudd and
Riggle.
Riggle and Keckner.
Yep.
But you, sir, were the one who debuted the "Why I Am a Fan" piece that we're going to run every single Thursday night on our pregame show on NFL Network. Take a look.
Why am I a Kansas City Chiefs fan? Well, when I was just a little guy in Kansas City, Kansas, Joe Delaney signed this card for me at Indian Springs Shopping Center. And then Jack Rudney came to my 5th grade class. Then I got season tickets from my Uncle Glenn. And then my dad bought me season tickets in the corner of the end zone. And I started following players like Duron Cherry, Albert Lewis, Kevin Ross, Lloyd Burris, Dino Hackett, Tracy Simeon, Neil Smith, Derek Thomas, Barry Word, Christian Okoye, John Alt, Dave Zott, Tim Grunhard, Irv Eatman. But why am I still a Kansas City Chiefs fan? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I know you got upset with yourself. You left some names out, right?
Well,
correct the record. Go for it.
I couldn't name everybody that I wanted to name, and of course, you know, the Twitter loves to remind you of what you did wrong with every step of the way. But I forgot Will Shields. First of all, was the biggest, first and foremost, because I did the whole defensive backfield, and then I did that whole offensive line, and I forgot Will Shields and Dave Lutz, who was one of my favorite players when I was a kid. And Dan Saliamua on the defensive line, and Bill Moss and Leonard Griffin.
I haven't heard that name in forever. When Paul Rudd made his first ever NFL Network appearance, gosh, like 12 years ago, he showed up in a Will Shields gamer.
Well, I was always an offensive line guy. I've said it before. You know, John Alt was always my favorite player, and he found out he was my favorite player, and he sent me a little mini helmet that he signed in a picture. So
neat stuff.
I hope all those guys got to see that.
And, well, they just did.
Yeah,
they just did. Eric Stonestreet here, back with the radio audience in a moment.
Who do you think should be in control of the Broncos offense? The head coach, Gary Kubiak, or the Hall of Fame quarterback, Peyton Manning?
Well, I'd give it to Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Well, you and 92% of your friends.
Okay, wow, I really went out on a limb.
Yeah, Kubiak, we've been saying, is the Mondale and McGovern of this.
I don't like to normally talk, bad about anybody, but Kubiak Kubiak was behind Elway most.
Yeah, he was, and then behind Matt Schaub in Houston all those years, where Peyton was winning the division.
Yeah. I'd go ahead and go with Peyton.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, good, good call, Coach Cam.
Thanks.
Good call. John Smoltz, Daniel Jeremiah, Maurice Jones, Drew Vernon Davis, and you, sir, Eric Stonestreet. I would like to thank you for joining this program. On Monday's show, Steve Mariucci and Robert Patrick of Scorpion. Tuesday, Ben McKenzie, the star of Fox's Gotham. Thursday, Snoop Dogg, and then Friday, James Taylor.
Wow, I've seen
in studio.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
I've seen them both. I'm so excited.
What an awesome week.
Karaoke in Chicago with you two.
Snoop, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember our karaoke? Thanks for introducing me to Mooch, by the way, man.
Is he not one of the most aces individuals of all
I told
time?
my dad yesterday, I said, when you watch Rich Eisen show, just know that Mariucci is a really cool, you would love Steve Mariucci.
Yeah, he is. That's why you have Mondays with Mooch. He is just like the sweetest guy.
He is. He's so funny. I gave him trouble on Twitter about picking against the Chiefs last week. And
I
then
saw
he said,
that.
all right, I picked your Chiefs this week. Don't let me down. And I'm like, oh,
well,
man.
he showed that to me on his phone during game day morning.
Did he show you that I texted him his hair was perfect?
No, you didn't.
In the middle of your broadcast.
That goes without saying. That goes without. I dream one day that you text that to me during a broadcast. But what are you going to do?
Your bobblehead stuffed head is perfect.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes!
The best part of that last night is you seeing it and then silence with you like doing the math. Like, okay, well, there's Irvin. That's Mooch. That's Kurt Warner. That is not me on the left. Like, just the silence on the air of you figuring out who was you was the funniest thing. I tried to send you an audio clip of you doing it.
You did. I got it. And the funny thing is, there it is for the radio audience. It looks like Pete Rose's ghost. That is so not right.
I said you look like the grown-up butthead.
Nice.
Thanks for coming on, Eric.
Thanks,
I appreciate
dude.
it. You got
Thanks.
it.
You guys
Modern
are awesome.
Family Season 7 debuts next Wednesday on ABC at 9 Eastern Time. Enjoy Week 2 of the NFL season and Week 3 of the college football season.
Go Chiefs!
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.